everyone. Welcome to Amanda's Inspiration Station. You're here with me, myself, Amanda Waldhart. Thank you so much for joining me. So today, this is my weekly Wednesday. So we have 2 cards today we're going to make. Yay! We are going to use the Best Day stamp set that is in the new January through April mini catalog. I love this stamp set. First of all, I'm a cat lover. Hello. But second of all, I just think this is a great birthday stamp set. So I have 2 different cards we're going to make. One we're going to use, obviously, the big cake, the large 2 images. So we're going to use the cake here. And then with the second one, we're going to use the cat and the cupcake. And we're just going to make some birthday cards. Now, the paper that I'm using is in... it's called Dandy Designs, and it is actually a celebration item. So if you spend $100, you get it for free. But I do love it. I don't have a full pack sitting next to me, but I do have some sheets here that are from the Dandy Designs. Look at how gorgeous these are. I mean, honestly, I absolutely love this. They are different on the front from the back. So different patterns. It is gorgeous. This pack, they are 12 by 12 sheets, and there are 48 sheets in this pack. So this is a very large pack of paper. Great patterns, great colors, just beautiful. So we are going to use that. We're also going to use this punch here, which I love this punch. I do believe right now it is currently on back order. And I'm actually going to bring my little catalog over here because it is this punch right here, which is called the Country Bouquet Punch. And I do believe it is on back order right now, but we're using the 2 hearts from it. I love putting hearts on my stuff, so probably no surprise for those who know me. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Let's start with the cat. So I am using a piece of Whisper. Oop, I can't believe I just said that. Well, I can. Sometimes, you know, old habits. Basic white, thick cardstock. And I actually cut it this time the long way. So it's cut at 4 1/4 by 11, and you're going to score it at 5 1/2. And then I'm going to go ahead and just use my bone folder to varnish in that crease right there. So then I have a piece of regular basic white, and this measures at 4 by 5 1/4. Now, I have ran this through already, my cut and emboss machine, and I used the cascading ruffles. So for the sake of video, I already ran it through. But what I did is I just set it right inside here like this. And then I ran it through to give it this pattern. I just wanted it for the extra texture. Then we have a couple pieces of this designer series paper, the Dandy Designs. And these are, I want to say they're 2 by 3, but they're not because I can tell they're not. I think they're 1 1/2 by 3. So I did make these a little bit smaller. Now, for the measurements, underneath the video here, I do have a link to the project sheet. It's completely free. The project sheet will have a picture of both of these cards on it. It'll have all the supplies that I used, and it'll have the measurements. So, and then we also are using the decorative circle punch. Probably one of my new favorite punches. Honestly, I use this all the time. I really do like it. And we're also using the largest stitched circle from the Stylish Shapes dies. And then obviously here I have, and actually I'm not using this at all. You know why I have this in there? Because I had cut this and I needed this heart. And I had cut this extra and it was a scrap. So I was like, oh, I'll just stamp my heart out of that. Or punch my heart out of that. So actually these 2 are scraps. So we are not using the decorative circle. But it is so cute. And we should, but we're not. We're going to, wah, wah, wah. We're going to let that go. All right. So let's go ahead and get started here. I'm actually going to use dimensionals, and I'm going to pop this up because I'm doing, basically what I'm doing is white on white. And I wanted it for that texture, but I also wanted it for that extra layer. I love layers on cards. I think that just by adding multiple layers on a card, it adds so much. So I do love that. All right, so I'm going to, give me just a second here. I'm gonna straighten that up a little bit. There we go. And now I'm going to pop this up, because now what I want to do is I just want to basically give it some more dimension. Now I'm going to place these, flat. So I've got my Stampin' seal here. And I'm just going to place these flat. And I'm going to angle them. So I'm going to start at with the top one here. And I'm going to do the fresh freesia with the little flowers. And I'm going to kind of angle it that way. And then I'm going to angle this one kind of down. And then I'm going to angle this one kind of back. I'm just kind of giving it some different kind of dimension. All right, so I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to ruin this little decorative circle there, but that's okay. And I'm going to take that out, and then I'm going to pop that in for a heart, a small heart. And there we have that. All right, and I'm going to kind of set that just aside. So now I have this little piece here. Now this piece I believe is a half. And it's a little bit more than a half. This would be 5/8. So 5/8 by 2.5. And I'm going to place it that way because now we're going to do some stamping. So I'm going to stamp the happy birthday in Calypso Coral. But I'm going to stamp the image of the cat. So I'm just going to stamp that like that. And I'm going to set that aside for right now. Because I'm going to stamp the image of the cat. I'm going to be using my blends today to color. So if you're going to use your blends, because they're an alcohol-based marker, you are going to want to use your Memento ink pad. If you use your StazOn, it will bleed. So the markers will bleed into that. So you will definitely want to use your Memento ink. And I'm going to stamp my image like that. Now, the colors I'm going to use today, I'm going to use dark and light fresh freesia because I'm going to color the entire cupcake all in the light. And then basically what I'm going to go back through and I'm going to color in the little dots, the little polka dots in the dark. So right now I'm just kind of going to color this whole thing. So I'm kind of outlining it with the smaller tip. And then I'm going to kind of go in and I'm just going to color in the whole thing with the lighter. Just like that. And then I'm going to come back through with the smaller tip in the dark. And I'm just going to color in the circles. Because this is how we're just going to get it so that it's a light and a dark look. There we go. Very cute. Now I'm also going to do the top of the hat here in the dark. And then I'm going to be using the dark in the Petal Pink and the Calypso Coral. So I'm going to use that for the hat. And then I'm also going to use it for the balloon, which my balloon looks a little more pinky. You know what? Maybe I did the light in the Calypso Coral. You know, I print these project sheets, but I never print them when I'm making my video. Yep, that's what I did. I used the light and the dark, not the light, or not the dark Petal Pink. I used the light and the dark. Oh, this doesn't want to come undone. There we go. I used the light. There we go. The light, I was like, that does not look like that color. Okay, ignore what I just said. All right, so I use the light and the dark of the Calypso Coral. So I'm going to, that's a new Calypso Coral too, so it's the cap is kind of hard to get out. There we go. And then I'm going to use the dark for the little tie. All right, there we go. Now for the nose though, I am going to use, I think, you know, for the nose, I think it needs to be pink. So we're going to use the light Flirty Flamingo for the little pink nose. All right. So I'm not using, I just grabbed the wrong one. I'm not using Petal Pink Dark at all. This is what I'm using. All right. But let's bring out our Smoky Slate light and dark, because I'm going to color the whole cat in the light. And then where the little lines are of the cat, I'm going to go back through in the dark. And I'm going to color that. So I'm going to kind of color around the eyes so that I don't color over the eyes. And we're just going to kind of color. I think this stamp set's cute and fun. It's a great way to make a bunch of birthday cards. I mean, yes, you're coloring, but especially if you like to color. To me, coloring is very therapeutic. And I like to color. I know a lot of people like to do the adult coloring books. Those are fun. So I'm just going to now take the dark, and over the little lines here that are on the cat, I'm going to just kind of go over them and in the ear. There we go. And there's our cute little cat. Now I'm going to use dimensionals to pop this up. And I'm going to, because it's a larger one, I'm going to put one in the center. I am not shy with dimensionals. I'm going to throw that out there. Love them. All right, so let's put our rest of our card together. So now I'm going to kind of place it right about there. And looks like I'm going to need some more dimensionals here. So let's cut these up so I can use them. And we'll place that. We're going to place that right. I'm going to actually butt this right up to the edge of my first layer of basic white, the one that I ran through the embossing folder. I'm going to butt that right on up. And then I'm going to put dimensionals on the hearts. All right. Oops, that didn't want to come off. Okay. I'm actually going to get, oh my gosh, I'm struggling here. I'm on the struggle bus today, clearly. I didn't feel like that all day, but I do feel like that right now. All right. I'm going to put a mini on the little one. So now I'm going to kind of overlap this like this. And then I'm going to put this one kind of overlapping that one. So there's that one. Oh, you know what? I need another little mini or it tilts. So let's put there. We'll do it like that. There, cute. Oh, we need to add our, oh, wait. But there's more, is what my friend Jennifer says. Okay. So I'm going to add some iridescent pearls here. So I'm going to go like that to kind of the bigger one. And then I'm going to put like a smaller one next to it. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put another smaller one there. And I'm going to put another smaller one there. There we go. There you have it. Cute. I love the colors. So there's that one. All right, let's go ahead and we'll place that up there. And then let's get started with this one. So this one we're going to use Wink Stella too. I don't know if you noticed, but the cake, I don't know if you can see that. It is shimmery. That kind of helps. So we're going to go ahead and do that one. All right, so for this one, we have Calypso Coral as our base. This time I have it cut at 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. You're still going to want to use your bone folder though. And we're going to use that. And we're going to do a couple different layers here. So I have 3 bigger pieces here. One is basic white. That's going to go on the inside for stamping. Oh, you know what? Oh, let's stop for a minute. We forgot to stamp our images on the inside of this card. Let's go back because I want to stamp that. So on the inside, I put wishing you all the wishes. There's a mouthful for you. Say that a couple times fast. So I'm going to stamp that in Calypso Coral, just like that. And then I'm going to use the little like streamers, and I'm just going to kind of put them in the corners like that. And I am going to clean off my thing. I hope when I lean over like this, you're not seeing my big old head, but because we're going to use the streamers again, only in the next card, we're not going to use them in the Fresh Freesia. We are going to use them. We're going to kind of do the opposite. So on this one, it's the best day because it's your birthday. We're going to use the streamers in the Calypso Coral. All right, so this inside basic white and the first layer of Mango Melody are the same size. They measure at 4 by 5 1/4. And then we're also going to put the designer series paper, which is not cut right, and I can tell. So I'm going to grab my mini paper trimmer here. It should be at 3 3/4 by 5. So we're going to go here to 3 3/4. And we're just going to trim off that little extra there, because that was not cut right. There we go. And then it's going to go like that. So while we're doing that, we'll go ahead and we're just going to place this flat. So we'll place the third layer flat, or the second layer flat to the first layer. And then we're going to turn around and we're going to place this flat this time. We're not going to use dimensionals for the front of the card on this one because I'm going to use dimensionals to pop up the scallop contour, which this is the second to largest scallop contour. And then we also have this basic white piece, and this measures at 4 by 3 3/4. So we're just going to place that in there. Now, if you want it to be smaller where you can see the stitching around the edge, you could trim this a little bit smaller. But we're going to get out the little cake. First, we got to do some stamping and some coloring. So we're going to ink that up. All right. And there's a little mark on there I don't like, so we're going to flip that over. And there we go. All right, so now let's do some coloring. So we've got our light and our dark Calypso Coral again. Let's see if I can get this one. Oh, geez, this one is so hard. There we go. Whew. All right, maybe I'm just a wimp today. You ever have those days where I don't know if you just feel tired, but like you really don't feel like you have any physical strength? I get those days. All right, so I'm going to do every other one like this. And then what I'm going to go do is I'm going to do the circles here on the bottom of the cake. And I'm going to do every other stripe, or at least try to do every other stripe. It does, after a while of staring at this, it does kind of make my eyes go a little crazy, but there we go. But before I do the dots of this, I'm actually going to color this whole part in with the lighter Calypso Coral. And that way, when I go over in the dots, it doesn't matter if I go a little outside of the lines, because I have this underneath. There we go. And you know what, while we're at it, we're just going to do the lighter. I'm going to make that like a little layer of frosting down there. And then we're going to just go in through and color the others of these. Okay, there's that. And then we'll color these. All right, now I do want to use the light smoky slate for the plates. Okay. And then I need the light Calypso Coral for the A and the P. There we go. This is fun. You can, I mean, you could definitely do this in a lot of different colors, but I chose these. And then I left part of the cake. I wanted it to look white, like white frosting. So then I'm going to come in with my Wink of Stella. And I'm going to color in the sign here where it says birthday. And I might have to squeeze a little. There we go. And then I'm going to color in the whole thing. But before I color over the white, I do want to make sure that I'm not blending in the color of... So sometimes if you color with the blend and then you use Wink of Stella over it, it'll actually kind of give it where it makes it a lighter color of the blend. But I want this to stay white. So I am going to, and now I'll go back over this. And then we'll go back over this. There we go. Cute. Okay. So now let's let that dry for a minute. Let's stamp our inside. So for our inside, we have the saying that I'm just going to do in the black Memento. And I'm just going to flip that over because I have a little piece of ink at the top there and I don't want that to show. And that is why we have two sides of paper. And then we're going to do the little streamers. There we go. All right, stamping is done. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to put this flat into our card. Like this. And then we'll put this flat onto the scallop contour die. And then we're going to flip this over, and this is what we're going to pop up using our dimensionals. All right. I'm having really hard time here peeling dimensionals today. All right, and now we're going to just center this on our card. And then we're going to add our iridescent pearls. So I'm going to add a bigger one and a smaller one. I always like them when they come like two like that. And honestly, I'm just going to leave it like that. Just going to do that, the two. All right, so there you have it. We have, I want to make sure that's dry. So we have that card, and then we have this card. Very cute. Go ahead and head on over and click below to print your project sheet if you want the measurements for each one of these. If you like the video, please click like or make a comment. And I hope to see you next Wednesday. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. And if you are not a subscriber of mine, I would appreciate you if you hit that subscribe button. I would appreciate that. Thank you so much. If you need any of the supplies today, or you want to get some more stuff so you can order or get that dandy designs for free, you can head right on over to amandasinspirationstation.com and you can place your order right under Shop Now. Thanks, everybody. See you next week for Wednesday. Bye.